Aussie.
Shazam, y'all. Sunday night. Here we go. And hello, Megaleech. And yes, that was a machine learning picture of Elvis in the thumbnail. Just because everyone's doing those these days, I thought, I'm going to do one of those of Elvis. I think it's good. Ooh, what's this? Got a clarified cocktail with my clear ice in there. Actually, there are some air bubbles in that ice. It's not perfect. I disappoint. I'll survive. I shot a video with some earlier, and that ice was completely clear, so yay. Speaking of which, no, not speaking of that, trying to do something else. I've been having setbacks with my phone. That's what I wanted. Okay, so I can remove that, and I want to download that to the phone. Fucking shit gives me so much fucking trouble. I swear to God. It's just trying to make my life very difficult. Does weird shit to me, and I don't know why. Hello, Justin, and hello, Notu. Oh, I think my drink's probably chill enough now. Yum. This is a milk clarified Mai Tai. Had a couple of dark rums, different fruit juices, different liqueurs in there. So the original version was actually a very murky brown. Now it's this brilliant, clear, light yellow. Love clarifying drinks. Megaleech, I have heard basically good things about Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. For those who don't know what it is, it's a Borderlands spin-off. Wacky character called Tiny Tina who creates fantasy worlds. In the game, when did she first? She first pops up in Borderlands 2. She's this traumatized little wasteland child whose parents were killed by baddies, and since then it's just been blowing shit up. And she looks to Roland as a role model. Now he's a player character in the first Borderlands, and then he's an NPC you meet in Borderlands 2. You're a whole new character in Borderlands 2. Yes, and there was a previous Borderlands 2 spin-off with Tiny Tina called Bunkers and Badasses, and it's literally played out as a Dungeons and Dragons game. The one that was a spin-off of Borderlands 2 was like fantasy setting, and it was funny and silly, and it was just her angry about things that had happened in the game, and she's acting them out in this Dungeons and Dragons game. And it's like wacky and silly and whatnot. And there was actually a bunch of very funny stuff in it. Yes, that's what it was called, Megaleech. Thank you. Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. Yes, it was DLC for Borderlands 2. and it's kind of wacky, fun shit. And then you get this critical point on it, and this unexpected bit of pathos. Where it's just really clear. Tiny Tina's been really traumatized by what's happening. It's like it's all been wacky fun and la di da di da, and then there's just this bit of realness where Tiny Tina is really traumatized. No, two, you've got to go. That's okay. Take care. Catch you later. Justin, you got told off for calling Republicans pieces of shit on the official Democrat Support Australia Facebook page. What's that? That's tone policing, what they're doing there. Like, hey, we all know they're pieces of shit, but you can't say pieces of shit because we're trying to be just responsible. Plus, that can actually get you banned on Facebook. So you want to be careful of that sort of thing. Okay. Is this actually going to fucking work for me now? Fuck me sideways. Okay. I now just have to... This is... Yeah, I know. Done. And I've got to save that. Oh, man. Using the phone to do shit's fucking annoying. But I'm getting there. Alexander, being careful of calling people pieces of shit on Facebook because they can get really twitchy and ban you for doing that. In fact, last time I called someone an absolute cunt and got banned. And then I was saying, like, even if I did something like call someone a potato, I might get banned. It's like, oh, better not call Peter Dutton a potato then. He's pretty sensitive. But yes, if you were running a page, and as the page posted, Republicans are pieces of shit, you might get the page removed from YouTube. That would not, from Facebook, that would not make you popular. Okay. So that exported, which seems to be good. Let me see. All right. And now I want to put that on Drive. Just Drive, she said. Stan Ridgway. Who is Stan Ridgway? Probably only me. I'm probably the only one old enough here to remember Stan Ridgway. He's still around. You don't have to remember him. You could know him. He's still around. But you had kind of big times in the late 80s, mid 90s. Sorry, Alexander. That's hilarious. An old lady was walking past the car when I said what Republicans are. Wasn't I called someone? I don't know which bitch she overheard. She gave you a dirty look because I'm talking bad. Oh dear. Oh, yeah. I mean, Justin, the only thing that stands a chance of working is a massive against the trend vote against Republicans in the midterm. That is literally the only thing that will possibly have any impact. I'm thinking the Roe versus Wade being overturned, which has opened the doors, which the current Supreme Court will support, of individual states outright banning and criminalizing abortion. And then they're going to move on gay rights. And they are going to make contraception more difficult. But just generally, women's gynecological health care is going to be extremely fraught from here on out. So, yikes is all I'm saying. Civil war, here we come, I guess. I don't know. Justin, I was about to say I hate to be that guy, but I probably don't hate to be that guy, or I wouldn't do it. But if the Democrats are not mobilized, if the Democrats do not do just an overwhelming voter turnout and force a seismic shift in the balance of power in both the House and Senate, then they're fucked and they brought it on themselves. It is literally that. It's like, it's this stark. The Republicans are not fucking around. They have 100% decided to take away basic rights, and fuck you if you don't like it. Literally the only thing there's two things you can do. One involves burning buildings down. That can get you in trouble. The thing that will theoretically get you in less trouble is voting en masse. And because on paper, typically, this midterm, with a weak Democratic president, and Biden fucking sucks, the Democrats would get fucking wiped out in the midterms. Yes, that is exactly what's happening, Dr. Abigail. And yes, Dr. Abigail too, bolting the barn doors, elections after the horses run. Everyone's been underestimating the drive of the far right since the 1970s. As things started to turn with race relations, women's rights, then gay rights, everyone's going, oh, we keep winning things. And behind the scenes, the far right were just grinding non-stop. They were never stopping. Whereas it seems like the people backing progressive causes, when they made a bit of a headway, a bit of win, it's like, yay, we win, it's over. And the far right never stopped in their grind to overturn these things. And pendulum is going way in their direction at the moment. So, yes, it's not good. It is not good. That is the controversial take I'm making. It's not good what is happening in the US of A. And there are many, 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 many dark roads it could turn down from here on out. Very hard to be sure what will happen. Not good, though. It's most of the options at the moment look not good. Big yikes. So, yeah. It is interesting, Justin. Compulsory voting seems to work broadly, not universally, not consistently, not all the time, but broadly, compulsory voting tends to work against conservative parties. It's like, if voting is not compulsory, only the most motivated people vote, and that's you never know who that's going to be. But if everyone has to vote, it becomes clear that the majority of the population reject certainly the more extreme elements of conservative politics. Dr. Abigail, term for anti-abortionist instead of anti-choice. I'd never call them anti-choice. They're anti-abortion. Forced pregnancy advocates. Yeah, but they'd be okay with it. Is the thing. They don't care. My opinion, focusing on the fucking freaks who pushed abortion illegal, that's pointless. They're fucking freaks, okay? No argument changes them. And I look at sometimes I think people are being like so naive with the approach they take, like saying something like making abortion illegal doesn't reduce the rate of abortions, it just makes abortion unsafe. This is true, and they don't care because they believe anyone who would seek an abortion deserves to die. So talking about the rights of the women and whatnot is never going to sway them, because they have condemned anyone who would make this choice. So, yeah. Sorry, just my internet seems to be. Wait, am I on Wi-Fi? I shouldn't be on Wi-Fi. This is weird. Okay, let's settle down now. But yes, trying to argue with the anti-abortion crowd, waste of time. Waste of time. Because literally no argument works against them. The only thing that works is getting politicians voted out and getting politicians who will actually. Gee, I have been very pixelated. Something just happened then. I don't know what it was. I think it's back now. So. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen. If I switch Wi-Fi off, because I shouldn't be on Wi-Fi, I'm on a cable. I'm going to switch Wi-Fi off, and I don't know what that'll do. Am I still here? Am I still here? That suggests to me I am still here. Black Metal Heart. When you have people advocating storming abortion clinics, killing doctors. Oh yeah, no. It's there is no value whatsoever in arguing with the anti-abortion activists because intelligence, rationality, decency are not part of their argument. Okay, I just switched off Wi-Fi and it's going through the cable. It shouldn't have been on Wi-Fi, but anyway, here we are. Yeah, literally the only thing that works is pressuring politicians, and they've got the golden opportunity. And if it doesn't happen, if the people, the pro-choice voters don't get out and vote out Republicans and vote in Democrats, then you're fucked. You've made your own bed. You're done. You're done. That's it. Justin, calling them hypocrites is pointless. They don't care. Logic does not form part of what they say. Consistency is not required of them. They're just awful. They're just fucking awful people. They are absolutely awful people. And everything you're saying, Justin, a sensible person would say, okay, if you oppose abortion, surely you're adopting or fostering children who are in state care, and they're not. But again, you are applying logic and consistency and decency to people for whom these things are meaningless. All that matters is power. That is all they're after. It's power and control. So actually arguing their position is a complete fucking waste of time. It's an absolute waste. Literally the only thing that can possibly work, and I say possibly because it's not definitely, but the only thing that can possibly work is mobilizing voters and voting out the politicians who will let shit like this happen. That's it. Like I said, or burning everything to the fucking ground. Metaphorically in Minecraft, okay? But yeah, no amounts of half-assed activism or expressing your outrage online or even trying to actively engage anti-abortionists. None of that will have any effect whatsoever. Literally the only thing that could possibly work is voting power. And I mean, there's a really stark choice at the moment for Americans. This happening to coincide with a midterm election where probably an overwhelming majority of them weren't interested in voting, weren't motivated to vote. You're either really aggressively getting out there and causing like a seismic change in the midterm elections, or you're accepting what's happening. It's a really straightforward, stark choice. So yeah. Just knew a US ballot arrived in the US the day of the decision. Yeah, but we sort of got told, was it a month or so ago? We got told this was coming. It's just the way it is. Yeah, and the United States is broken. It's absolutely broken, where a tiny fringe is dictating policy. If you want good food for thought, I don't think this is on the official angry bingo card that Dr. Abigail always points out. So thing, but I do mention this guy a lot, so maybe he's on there. An American writer called Cory Doctorow does great think pieces on stuff like this, and he's well worth reading. He publishes stuff on a few websites, and he's quite active on Twitter. And I don't agree with everything he writes, but he's very smart and he's very insightful, and he's spent decades working in digital rights activism. Chris, yes. Oh my gosh. It's a very special brand of freedom at the moment, isn't it? It's pretty wild. Right, I'm gonna make a special old fashioned. Mrs. Angry and I went out last night to a place we hadn't been to before. And it was good. Like, food was really good, drinks really good, staff was good. And yeah, after we'd had a couple of cocktails, and then we were talking to the waitress and saying, "Oh, could he make this?" And said, "Oh, I'll get Eli over, who's like one of the owners." And it was a young guy, like 20 something, unless he's very baby faced. I think he's still 20 something. He came over, sat down, and he was responsible for the drinks menu and really talked through. And he made us a couple special drinks, and then he also brought us a shot of this lesser known agave spirit. Tequila is an agave spirit. That's the one everyone knows, and a lot of people know mezcal. But there are other traditional agave spirits as well, and one's called Sotol. And young Eli brought Mrs. Anger and I shots of Sotol. It was yummy. It had that great. Does it taste very similar to tequila? But it had this sort of peppery note, but there was almost no alcohol burn. And he was laughing. He was saying like this one has distilled snake venom in it or something, which was pretty funny. But it was like 46, 47% alcohol. And there was no alcohol burn as you drank it. It's pretty amazing. Dr. Agar, the USA isn't doing freedom correctly. Yes, but when you think about it, Dr. Abigail, they are giving less than 1% of the population the freedom to control everyone else. So, that's a type of freedom. Safa, no, I didn't go out in the CBD. It was a local place, but I'd never been there before. It was really good. Oh, and Dr. Abigail, it's weird putting this on you. I'll probably remember this tomorrow, but I was going to have a chat with you on like Discord or whatever about things and locations. That's really oblique. But you can like hit me up on Discord and say, what the fuck were you talking about? So, Chris, your favorite quote of the week: 20-year-old MSNBC got a Biden fundraising email the day Roe was overturned. My rights are not your fundraising goal. Yeah, but again, the way the system works, Chris, what's the option? If the Democrats don't make sweeping gains in the midterm elections, individual rights in the US are fucked. Yeah, I know. I'm not being. Yeah, I know. Just message me on Discord. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Safa, I haven't watched the new Doctor Strange yet. I'm meaning to. Oh no, kissed pest layer eating edible gummies. From what I hear, because that's not a thing I do, and I'm not even joking and trying to cover bases, it's not a thing I do because you can't actually get them in Australia. I've heard you have to be careful. Safa, I think I'm just Angry Aussie on Discord. I don't have a Discord channel as such. I do have a Discord ID though. Yeah. Discord still confuses me a bit because I am old and I don't like different things. And I've only been getting into Discord in the last year, even though I had a Discord ID for quite a while. Don't actually know how long. Yeah. All right. So that whole thing about the new place, and he made a couple of interesting drinks. It was an old fashioned, and I think it was a mix of tequila and rum. What will I make it with? Maybe my favorite sipping rum? I've got a tequila. No, a mezcal. Oh, and that's what he put in it. Amaro Montenegro. Okay. A thought is a thinking in my head. Yes. Black Metal Heart, the idea of teachers open carrying is wild. Because the same people saying teachers should have guns, saying teachers shouldn't be allowed to teach. I just want the teacher to pull a gun and just go like, did you do your homework, motherfucker? Because that's obviously going to go wrong. Teachers with guns is obviously going to go wrong. Chris, there isn't one. Yeah, no, there's no alternative. Well, see, that's what's going on the streets. Yeah. State is incredibly important now because the Supreme Court seems intent on saying states can do whatever they want. See, okay, you've got past me there, Gift Slayer. Shoshon the Elegant, the White Tiger King. See, I have no idea what that is. And yes, Safa's an absolute weirdo under Clive Palmer's banner, appears to have gotten a Victorian Senate seat. Senate elections are fucking weird, man. All right, I'm just going to fuck around with an in-glass old-fashioned variation. Right, so we are going to do... Where's my tequila? Where did I put it? Because I don't drink it very often. Put it somewhere. Where did I put it? Man. Is it down here? Oh god, now I'm just going to give up because I can't find it. What mezcal? I can't find the mezcal. Well, this is stupid. Why can't I? There it is. Jesus Christ, why did I put it there? I put it somewhere different. Yeah, I don't know about anyone else, but I always put things in the same place so I remember where they are. And then on the odd occasion, when I put them somewhere else, I can never fucking find them. Oh, God, it's annoying. So, tequila. My favourite sipping rum. Hold on. Rum. Ooh, I haven't even opened this bottle. Neat. I had to get another bottle because I finished the other bottle because it's my favourite. And Amaro Montenegro and some sugar syrup. I think it needs bitters if I put all this in. All right. Amaro Montenegro. What is in that? There's a fair bit in that. Sugar syrup. That's crabapple. Rose. Rose syrup in. I'm just going wacky here. I want my stirring finger as well. I could use my own finger, but that's uncouth, so I'll use a metal finger. Not a sex toy. So, Chris, US government SCOTUS going to rip away tons and right. It does seem it. It really does seem it. Don't know what the coming years are going to bring. Seems very volatile. Justin, I do remember the IKEA joke about Clive Palmer. All that money for no seats should have gone to IKEA. And yes, Dr. Abigail, that's on the have a drink bingo card. Got Gaz Regan's finger out. Now, so I am going to make it. Oh, okay. Okay, so I've got to break the seal on this. Woo, I didn't actually realize I hadn't opened this one. I think there's a lot of this in my rum old fashioned, which I'm going to decant sometime soon. All right. Diplomatico Reserva. Yum, yum. All right, so we'll put some of this in. Is this Venezuelan, I think? Yeah, it's Venezuelan. Venezuelan rum. And some reposado tequila. Yum, oh. Und little bit of Amaro Montenegro. Sorry, GIF Pestlayer. That's the punchline to the joke. What's green and smells like pork? Kermit the Frog's finger. Right, special rose syrup. Just a little bit of that. Oh, now I'm going to garnish it because I'm fucking classy. Get some orange and a cherry. I'm going to get a peeler and a skewer for my cherry. One peeler. There's a peeler. There's a skewer. Oof. And there is an unfeasibly large orange. All right. Ridiculously large orange. We shall peel a bit of peel off this. I buy fruit solely for garnish purposes. I think I did a good job with that peel, but fuck it. That can go in there. And now I want to check. Why? It's the fucking cherry jar I want is always out of the way. Okay. And cherry. All right. So, gift pet slayer. You don't want to be friends with someone who won't be open-minded, change for better? Well, yeah, that's fair. Angry Saracen. That doesn't sound like radical nutbags. It sounds like people who acknowledge we are facing a critical emergency and the continued existence of human society is at stake, and we're being sold down the river by vested interests who don't care what happens to us. Oh, Dr. Abigail. Okay, I was meaning at some point I'm going to watch The Man Who Fell to Earth. I got my eye on it. Going to probably finish Stranger Things with Mrs. Angry before doing that, because I want to get through Stranger Things before people start doing Spoilers, and we're only up to season 3, and the final part of season 4 is about to come out. So there we go. Justin, there are a bunch of fucked Democrats, same as there are a bunch of fucked Labor people in Australia. But yeah, there are worse problems in the US. As I said a bit earlier, US, it's broken. It's a failed state. It's only staying there because it's in people's imagination. All right, completely experimental, old-fashioned. Oh man, that's good. That is good. Yum. Okay. Experiment successful. That is a yummy drink. Just easing out the weekend with a couple of lazy drinks. Don't know if I'll have another one. I'll just have this. Have a martini afterwards. Maybe. Who knows? Okay, Justin, here's the thing. Everyone always does that thing of if party X wins election Y, I'm going to leave the country. I have 2 big problems with that. One is they never fucking do. It's just a ridiculous statement people make and they never fucking follow up on it. 2, stay and fucking fight, okay? It's as simple as that. And it's not going to be pleasant, the fight against, and again, this is not hyperbole. This is an accurate description of what's happening. The rising tide of fascism. There are people in control and people in influential positions who are openly preaching for actions and government behavior that can only be described as fascism. The complete subjugation of opposition, the complete denial of rights to the other, depending how you define that. It is literally textbook rising fascism. And also, the promotion of violence as a solution. Not good. Well, yeah, give pest. That's another fun thing. The rate of child marriage in the US is pretty goddamn disturbing, quite honestly. Icy Saracen, I'm going to disclaim this with I don't know any specifics about what you're talking. I don't know the nature of what they were doing. I will go on the record of trying to say to the people who are causing the problem, the powerful corporate and political entities in the world that are the entire source of the problem and have the entire power to deal with the problem, going to them and saying, oh, come on, fellas, play nice, is simply not going to work. We're being sold a lie that climate change, it's just a thing and we'll work it out. We know how to fix it. It's just fixing it will hurt the most powerful people on the planet. And the most powerful people on the planet do not fucking care if 50% of the world's population suffer cataclysmic hardship, so long as their precious world stays intact. That's just reality. There are a tiny number of people who are able to affect the lives of almost everyone, and the US has led the way with selling politics, just literally making it legal to buy politicians. And these people, for the sake of holding on to their money, they do not care how many people suffer. The fact that in the next 20 to 50 years, we will see millions, if not tens of millions to hundreds of millions of people die horribly in climate-related disasters, they don't care because it's not them. And they just don't care. I think some of them probably genuinely don't believe the problem is as bad as it is, but a decent chunk of them know how bad the problem is, and they don't care. They just do not care. It's that simple. All they're thinking of is, how can I maintain my power if everything goes to shit? They do not put thought into, how can I stop things going to shit? So, Chris, if you immigrated Canada, there you go. New Zealand's pretty good too, yes. Dr. Abigail, child marriage, forced pregnancy, religious idealism. Yes, it is. It is disturbingly in line with certain published works. Gift Pest, you think? Oh yeah. Well, again, anyone who Nazis are the name National Socialist. It's just, again, having a conversation with someone who wants to say the Nazis were socialist. It's like trying to have a conversation with an anti-abortionist. It's pointless. The person is either profoundly stupid or just acting in bad faith. Either way, it's a complete waste of time to engage with them. What we need doomslayer, socialist revolutionary. I do worry about the idea of reflexively going to violence because it's a very seductive idea. And yes, I see Sarah, do I think there'll be new wave of eco-terrorism? Short answer, yes. Slightly longer answer, I think probably a bunch of poorly thought out and misdirected things will happen. I also worry about the eco-fascists, the people who, whenever you get someone who starts talking about overpopulation being the problem, and then they will almost invariably focus on the poorer nations, the global South, Africa, places like that, and just talk about the overpopulation as a problem. It isn't. The problem is the gross rapaciousness of the capitalist system. That is the problem. Okay? If we could stop that, there wouldn't be a problem, or there would be a manageable problem. So, yeah. So whenever you get someone who starts, anyone who brings overpopulation into the question, fuck them. They're creepy, racist motherfuckers. The problem is not overpopulation. We have more than enough resources for a much bigger population of humans than currently exists. The problem is the rapacious nature of capitalism. Full stop. Full stop. That's it. That is absolutely it. So yeah, I don't know, jail all the capitalists until we fix shit. I mean, you just look at it and go, look, the problem's big. The solution's going to be complex. But we know the capitalists are the problem. So just fucking jail all the capitalists. So the people with the vested interests in perpetuating the problem don't have any influence, and fix shit. And then when we fix shit, consider whether we should let them out of prison or not. But yes, get the capitalists out of the way. That's what we want to do. Is that Safa? Is the US and extreme capitalism? I don't think those are comparable. I think they're very different. Russia, since the fall of the Soviet Union, has just been an overt gangster state. The US has been sort of a covert gangster state for all of the 20th century, certainly post-World War II. And late-stage capitalism, is just fucked. The way that it's basically impossible to be responsible. And so far, again, it depends what you mean by extreme capitalism. We're part of global capitalism. And there are various people who've made a lot of money from exploiting the system and stealing resources that should either stay in the ground or belong to everyone. There is no moral or legal justification for these resources being exploited by a tiny number of people. It's a criminal act. So there are both wealthy people and people in politics in Australia who think exploitation, stealing is just the way it goes, and they need to be stopped. Because I'm saying prison, just put them in prison. So there's no one speaking out about their vested interest, and we'll just fucking fix the problem. So, Peslayer, if overpopulation did become a problem, yeah, I don't know where you're going with that, but the simple fact is overpopulation is not a problem. And there's a creepy bit of what, for want of a better word, I'll call eco-fascism. We get people who start saying it's these overpopulated countries, they're the problem. No, they're not. The fact that their resources have been stolen by colonial powers over 300, 400, 500 years, that's a problem. The fact that the descendants of these colonizers continue to fucking ravage the planet, that's a problem. Yeah. So it's a black metal heart. What's the name of the nutters a few elections ago? Oh, yeah. And see, that's the thing. You get people, and they used, I think, a really reasonable sounding name that made them sound like greenies, and they were just fucking racists. They were just gross fucking racists. Musical Aviator, how's Trumpet going? It's productive usage in the evening. Safa, we need more infrastructure, just everything, because building infrastructure is good on every level. And here's the weirdest thing. Building infrastructure is actually good for the wealthiest, but they, in a decent world, they have to suffer some short-term pain, as in we are going to tax you a more realistic amount to fund infrastructure building. They have to suffer some short-term pain for long-term gain. And they don't want to. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to suffer at all. Well, again, that's definitely a problem, I see, Sarah Saren. It's a lesser problem than stealing all their physical resources, but it is still a problem. The brain drain factor of the capitalist countries stealing brain power from these countries as well. Stealing the physical resources is a bigger problem, and destroying and despoiling the environment in those countries, that's a bigger problem. But that is a real problem you point out. Yes. Okay, that was a yummy drink that I just invented. Go me. Yeah, that's really good. Going to this place last night, which specialized in Mexican spirits. The food, I think, was like inspired by Mexico, but it's not that spicy. It was really fucking, man, the food was really fucking good. In fact, the guys who own it are English, but they've traveled, and it's like their interpretation of what they found when they traveled. Really fucking good. Like, it just really, there was this corn. There was this, I guess you call it seared. It's like barbecued corn, right? And, you know, it's blackened because fucking, I wouldn't have thought I would rave about corn on the cob. It was fucking amazing. It was really good. And they did really good calamari, and they did really good chicken. Everything was good, but I think just fucking top shelf A double plus was the corn and the calamari and the chicken. We had this banquet thing, so it was like 6 courses, just little serves. Dr. Abigail, if I could have babies with this corn, I would do it. I would absolutely do it. It was very yummy. But yeah, it was a whole thing. It was there was this crab thing, which was fine, and a salad. Oh, the potatoes they served with the chicken were just like super crunchy. It's like baked potatoes. They've clearly been like baked with a lot of oil in the pan, and they were just super crunchy. Oh my god, they were so fucking good. And also, the guy made good drinks. Made really good drinks. So yeah. So gift best Slayer. Humanity wouldn't need to boost if we truly occupied. Yeah, no, we're just not overpopulated. It's just not real. Oh yeah. No. This corn was sexy. This corn was very sexy, and I wanted to fuck it. Like probably an orgy with the corn and the calamari and the chicken. Just a big food orgy. I would have done that. Safa, the place was really busy. We were there from the place closed at 10. We were there from 7 to 10. After like 8:30, it thinned out. And I don't know, because we were getting the banquet and it was kind of slow. Getting our dessert took a while and I was really unsure why. The dessert was also good. It was like this chocolate cake thingy with a banana puree thing. Very good. But then we ordered another drink and it was good. Yeah, Safar Rudd just said that because he was horny. He wanted to contribute to that 50 million population. That's Rudd just being horny, basically. You can tell I don't take Rudd very seriously. But yeah, no, this place is on the rotation now, by the way, because Mrs. Angry and I do like date night every second week, and we go to different places, and we find places we like, and if you find half a dozen places you like, 8 places you like, and you're only going every second week, you go months without going back to the same place. And a couple places we liked closed down permanently in COVID. But we've now found a couple of new places that we like. And both local. And every now and then we go into the city. Because there's just, fucking heaps of shit in the city. But this was another local place. And it was good. Pest Slayer. See, I am not getting any of your references, but I'm here with it. Having sex with hellhounds. Why not? You're feeling sick. Is that the thought of the hellhound sex that made you feel sick? I don't know. Sorry. I also just thought I'm sorry. I'm going to be rude. I'm just going to do a thing. So if I do this. All right. So I'm glad you also don't get the reference, Abigail. Yes, Mrs. Angry also has a car. Well, because she has to drive to work. Sorry. I shouldn't do this, but I am. I'm just doing it. Okay, so there you go. It's just a miss. Mrs. Angry's okay on trams and trains. Oh, her work's too far away, basically. It's just not viable to go to. She has to go out to like Dandenong for work. Oh no, okay, Pest Slayer. It's a cold. It's almost gone now. I had a cold that hung around for over a week. I actually had 2 COVID tests in that period because I thought it was COVID. Negative. Also negative for flu both those times. First time is when I've felt fucked for a couple of days. I should get a test. That came back negative. And then about a week later, when it hadn't gone away, and I was thinking, I should probably get another test because this isn't going away. And there's all these stories about people getting negatives for several days and then getting a positive. And then young Mr. Angry came out going, I am sick. I think we should get a test. And so I said, okay, I'm getting a test too. So we took him to a testing center. We both got tested. We're both negative. So just a cold. And yes, Safi, yeah, my voice, 95%. I feel like I'm 95% there. Okay. I'm going. Let's see if I can do something silly. Oh man, sorry, my fucking computer's been fucking weird. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight. Boom, 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 boom. All right. I'm going to beg your indulgence. Sorry, like literally for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. I got to run off and do something. Alrighty, I'm coming back. Was that 30 seconds? I feel like I stuck to my word. And that was 30 seconds. Hey, Salumi, you need a weekend to recover from your weekend. Nice. So, animated series called Hell of a Boss. Sentient humanoid anthropomorphic wolf-like Hellgirl girl character called Luna. Well, that sounds like fun. I mean, that just sounds like fun. What's the time? 9 o'clock. Fucking okay. No, I've still got some of this. What am I talking about? Yum. I want to have a martini, I think. If I can. Yo ho, Sebastian. Okay, that was an excellent old fashioned. Okay, here's a drink. We want to invent. I was talking about this with Mrs. Angry, and it was like a funny idea, and I liked it. There's a classic sort of dark days of cocktail world dessert cocktail called a brandy Alexander, and it's basically brandy and a chocolate liqueur, creme de cacao, and cream. And then you like grate, you shake it up, pour it out, and grate some nutmeg over the top. And it's nice. It's a nice sort of dessert cocktail. And Mrs. Angry likes it. And we were talking about, because we were in this bar and they didn't have brandy. They had all these Mexican and South American spirits, including Pisco, which is a brandy. It's a grape brandy. It's a sort of light grape brandy. And Mrs. Angry is going, well, you know, you make it with that. And because we'd had something that had coconut milk in it, I was going, well, they have coconut milk. So instead of like brandy and cream, you could have brandy and coconut cream. And the brandy would be Pisco. And I decided, because that would be a South American brandy Alexander, it would be a brandy Alejandro. I'm going to make it. I actually don't have any cream of coconut at the moment. I might do it this coming weekend. I want to do it for my YouTube channel. Brandy Alejandro. Make it with maybe with tequila. So the thing about Pisco, it's a grape brandy. It's very light flavoring. All right. Yes. Yeah, it's only a few minutes, Dr. Agar, but you'll get a laugh because of how fucking wrong he is. But I also want to talk, I guess, tactics. And also, yeah, not, I'm going to keep being oblique about, don't want to talk about this in the stream, although I kind of am. Peslayer, certainly if someone was assailing you and you sprayed them in the face with spray paint, that's not a good time for them. That is a very bad time for them. So Maddie, I do. I'm not tonight, not drinking any drinks tonight because I go to sleep. But like, for instance, Friday night for the long stream, I usually have one at the start of the stream. Oh, Salumi, same dealio. I could find a way to explain it to you. Yes. Or you're going to have a peaceful weekend next weekend. Well, yeah, Mrs. Anger and I drank a bit more than we normally would on a date night. Normally we have 2 or 3 cocktails with a meal, like cocktail with each course. Then the last course, like it took 45 minutes for the dessert to come for some reason. And we're going to, and a very fun waitress there is just like, get another drink. And then we started talking about drinks and we're saying, we were just talking about inventing a drink. And that was the Brandy Alejandro. And she's, I'll get Eli over. Eli is one of the owners and he did the drinks menu. And Eli was pretty cool and he sat down and chat and he seemed very excited that someone actually wanted to talk about how you develop drinks and stuff. And we mentioned Brandy Alejandro and he's going, he's just like, the Pisco would be too light. You'd maybe want to put a bit of rum in there because he has a lot of rums because you get a lot of South and Central American rums. You get rums in South America through to the Caribbean, basically. And he's going, maybe a bit of rum. I'm actually thinking Brandy Alejandro should maybe, I want to get a stronger flavor and a more aged tequila. There's 3 stages of tequila. There's the white or silver or blanco tequila, the clear one. That's unaged. It tends to have the least flavor. This is the reposado tequila. Reposado, I think, literally means rested. It's been aged in barrels for a while. And then there's anejo, which has been aged for longer and has a stronger flavor. So I'm thinking for a Brandy Alejandro, mostly Pisco, some either anejo tequila or mezcal, because mezcal's got this very smoky thing going on. And yeah, then a chocolate liqueur and cream of coconut. Maybe some chocolate bitters too, actually. Because again, I think chocolate comes from South America. I'm not sure. I just think European colonizers pillaged stuff from everywhere. I think chocolate originally came from South America. You're still losing track of what they pillaged from Africa and what they pillaged from South America, or even North America for that matter, and what they pillaged from Asia. So, yeah. Peslayer. Oh, God. Sorry. Is that like an Urban Dictionary sex act, the Alaskan Pipeline? I'm very tuned. Safa, I did see there was something about like Starwood won new awards or something. Starwood are also always winning awards. They were the most awarded distillery of the year at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. First Australian distillery to take the top honour in the competition's 22-year history, beating close to 5,000 of the world's most renowned spirits. So, man, I'd love to meet you. David Vitale, the founder, to become the first Australian whiskey to be named most awarded distillery of the year at the world's most competitive spirits competition is dream come true. Achievement would not be possible without the passion, commitment, and shared dream of our team. With this win, we're excited to take Starwood new horizons here and abroad. Double gold for Nova, favourite whiskey of myself and Dr. Abigail. Fortis, double gold. That's a stronger whiskey. It's quite nice. I actually probably prefer Nova. 12 double gold and 3 gold at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. They make good whiskey, basically. So Twofold won awards too. Twofold's a nice light whiskey. Learn more about the award. Hello. Are you after something, or are you just saying hello? No, that's okay. Just talking about how Starwood won a global award for most awarded distillery. They're pretty excited about that. Safi, yes, Kirsten used to work for Starwood, and then she got offered a job at Archie Rose in Sydney, so she moved to Sydney. In the middle, okay, now that's a woman of determination, moving in the middle of COVID lockdowns. So yeah. Thank you for sharing, Pestlayer. The Alaskan pipeline. You shit in a condom, tie it in the condom, put it in the freezer, use it as a dildo. God damn. Okay. At least it's in the condom. Yeah. So Kirsten worked for Starwood for a while. Now she's with Archie Rose. half the bottles there are either Starwood or Archie Rose. Oh, Jesus. I love that. Oh, no, this one. Salumi. Not even the top 5 worst things I've heard online. Okay, now I just feel like counting. Because how many I've got? Okay, let's go. I mean, Starwood. No, the Starwood's not all whiskey. I have a Starwood gin now. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 Starwood whiskies and 1 Starwood gin. Archie Rose, I have 1, 2. Two whiskies. 2, 3. Wait, is that not the Starwood? Oh no, that's the Anyway, got about 12 bottles, mix of whiskies and gins from Starwood and Archie Rose. Sorry, that's even better, Safa. It's not even the Dr. Abigail's not even the top 5 grossest things you've personally posted online. Peslayer, no one's asking you to try it. We're just joking about the fact the internet generally is gross. So, yeah. Right, 9/11. I might make myself a small martini. I'll make sure it's small by putting it in a smaller glass than I normally do. Fletcher, very well picked. Yes, there's a downlight over there that's flickering. And I tried to replace it, and I cannot fucking work out how to do it. Like, I got the hot fitting open, and I got it down, and I tried to get out, and it seems to be, like, held in with screws. It's ridiculous. Just getting some water. Pouring very slowly. I think it actually needs more water in the reservoir. There you get like some peeing ASMR. There we go. That's all right. Yes, I will top it up before going to sleepy bobos. You're welcome. Matty Gates, my favorite all-time drink. Just go to day-to-day basis would be an old-fashioned, but there are two drinks I discovered in the last year or two that I really fucking like. One was a riff on a Sazerac called the Woodson and Ford. Actually, I'll tell you. I think Woodson and Ford's actually a riff on a... Okay, so a Woodson and Ford... Okay, Woodson and Ford is apple brandy, rum, vermouth, Benedictine, bitters. So that's a riff on a Vieux Carré. So a Vieux Carré is brandy and whiskey, and those are the things. Woodson and Ford is brandy and rum, and those things. The other one I discovered that I really like is called Colonial Ties. It's a riff on a Sazerac. The Sazerac is arguably a riff on an old-fashioned, which, as I said, is my go-to on a day-to-day basis. So Colonial Ties is a split of whiskey and rum, and then sugar, bitters, and absinthe rinse. So a Sazerac is either rye or sometimes bourbon, sometimes cognac, or sometimes a split of them with sugar, bitters, and an absinthe rinse. Colonial Ties is a split of rye whiskey and rum. So I like boozy drinks, basically. Pest Slayer. There are places around the world where people believe in witchcraft, etc. I've read some very compelling stuff that says that's no dumber than what a lot of people in Western nations believe. All right, I am going to have a... Because I actually just want to taste, because I remixed my Freezer Eternity Infinity Martini. So I won't put it in a martini glass. I'll just put a little bit in my Nick and Nora. I just want to taste it. A little bit of squeaky ASMR. Because each mutation of my Infinity Martini, I like to taste it, see how it's going. Okay, Dr. Abigail, a previous comment. Birthday, Bukkake party. Yes. In fact, fuck, I'm up for it. Yes. Live stream at your part on either Friday or Saturday night. I would be up for it. It's good. It's gone back to being a dry martini. I didn't dislike how it was before. It had somehow got a bit citrusy. And with that in mind, I adjusted what I topped it with. Oh, goddamn, that's right on the money for me right now. Really fucking strong, boozy martini. I mean, a martini can't really help but be strong, because all it is gin and a little bit of vermouth. but I did put Navy strength gin in. Damn, that's just how I like it now. It's great. It's kind of like it's fun when you do like an infinity drink of whatever, whether you're doing like, the first time I heard of it is people do like infinity bottles of spirits. Like if you have a collection, you might get to the stage where it's gone down a bit. And if there's not much in a bottle, it can oxidize and lose all the flavors you like. So some people say, like, when the bottles run right down, you should just mix them all and make a blend, and that's your infinity bottle. But you can do it with cocktails as well. And I've been doing it for quite a while with this martini. And the funny thing is, as you add things and whatnot, it's like, whoever you are, there's going to be a thing like, oh, here's where I like it. And you work it out and go, yeah, I've got it here. Then I added some stuff, and it's kind of like the flavor profile goes zip, and sometimes it goes too far one way and you go, okay, I can dial it back and do this. And then it goes too far that way and you got to, and so it's fun that it goes sort of, and when it's gone into direction, I'm not real keen on that. What can I put in to bring it back in line? I got it perfectly on. And yeah, Dr. Abigail, fuck being humble. Party, presents, doing it. Saturday night. Something to look forward to. Safa. Okay, so Starward varies from, well, like more expensive than Jack Daniels. Why did I do that? Didn't want to. Oh, actually. Yeah, because you were okay. You can't go to the distillery. Are there any specials at Dan this week? Okay, so Starward Twofold, which is like the entry level whiskey, which is normally $70. If you're a Dan's member, is $60 this week. Solera single malt, that's expensive. It's currently $140. I bought a bottle of that for the first time a while back when it was on this huge special. It was only like $90 something. I just got it because it's on a huge special. Okay, these prices have all gone up. Fortis is now $150. And Nova, which I think Dr. Abigail and I both agree is our favorite, is normally $95 to $100, and it's on $5 off at Dan's. And then they have a bunch of limited edition ones that are around $150, and I'm like a sucker, and I get those. So that's the range. Sorry, so what do you know about my fancy corn cob? It was done Mexican style. It was charred. So yeah, it's kind of like everything at this place we went to on Saturday night. It's called Repeat Offender. It's a local place. Everything was good, but on this banquet we had, it's like anything that was charred was super good. The corn was charred and it was fucking amazing. I never thought I'd rave about corn on the cob, but it was fucking amazing. The calamari was charred and it was fucking amazing. The chicken was charred and it was fucking amazing. It was really good. See, Pesto, that's still ASMR. If you like the loud stuff, gunshots, explosions, etc., that's your ASMR. Safa, was it expensive corn? I actually thought it was pretty good. Although, speaking of inflation, the menu in the restaurant was actually slightly more expensive than what was on the website, which again would be a inflation thing with produce being so expensive. Sorry, I was just checking something. Yeah. Yes. Dr. Abigail, I don't want to fuck the corn. I want to have tender lovemaking with the corn and have a very deep and serious relationship with the corn. And I want it to be an open polyamorous relationship because I want the chicken and the calamari involved as well. Also, the drinks. The drinks were very good. The drinks ranged from, by my standards, between 7 and 9 out of 10. None of them were bad. Several of them were very good. So it was all in all, it was a good night. We had a good time. And I was glad it was last night because it wasn't raining last night. We were walking. We walked to this place and it's raining today. It wasn't raining last night, so it was good. It would have been pissed off if I was walking in the rain. So I'm just... Very quick, yes. Gifts. I'm going to go with there's more than one guy on YouTube who thinks the government's trying to steal his penis. That's not even the most outlandish thing I've ever seen. Safa. Popcorn making ASMR would work for some people, definitely. But yes, it's a whole thing. It's so funny because it's so hard for ASMR to not cross over into something sexual because it's a voice, whether it be male, female, non-binary, non-gender specific voice, just whispering and saying things, and it just kind of sounds intimate. So it's very hard for ASMR to not take on sexual elements. So, and there is, of course, purely sexual ASMR. It's a funny old world, basically. You look around at all the things. So how long did it take down the gazebo? It was done the gazebo was progressively taken down over, I don't know, 2 days. It's we noticed the day after, because there was a bit of a breeze, the velcroed on walls were starting to come loose. So I took them down first, and then partially took down the frame. And it all like snaps together. And because my arms were really tight, because the fucking act of putting it together was really fucking... And my arms, when I tried to pull it apart, it's like, I'm too weak. But then over the course of the Sunday, I rested. And I don't know what it was. Something popped into my head. I was like, I can do this. And I went out there and I did it. And I pulled everything apart and pulled it up. And then over a couple of days, actually making Mrs. Angry, folded it up, actually put it all back in a box. I should go on and find out if someone local wants a fucking marquee. Gazebo actually is probably a better word, Safa. Gazebo. Because it was weird, because when young Mr. Angry first wanted to have a party, we looked at hiring it, which is expensive. And there was this one you could buy at Bunnings, which was less than half the cost of hiring one. And I did read some of the reviews and people saying, like, it works, but it's like a single-use thing. It's really frail. It gets fucked up. And I was like, I only want it once. And it's cheaper than hiring. In terms of resource waste, I felt a bit guilty about getting this single-use thing. But It's not damaged, and we've packed it up. So I think I'm just going to see if I can find someone local who fucking wants it, and it'll get at least a second use. Yes, Dr. Abigail, I think you're right with entropy. Destroying things is easier than creating things. Heine, that's a good call. No, it does not have the cutouts to make it more wind resistant. Dr. Abigail, there's free cycle and rough grade groups. I could probably find a thing, yeah. I think Mrs. Angry's on some local Facebook. Like, I literally just want, does someone just want it? I don't want to trade, I don't want to sell it, I don't want to trade it for anything. I just don't want it to go to waste. Oh, Safa, it worked really well. It worked really well. It was, because there were a lot of these young folks. There were too many to be in the lounge room. So it was good they were able to spread out. It was good. So, Pesley, you think the song Little Monster by Royal Blood? Yeah. All right. That's out there as a recommendation. Take it as you will, folks. All right. I am going to just quickly top up water in the fridge. Oh, which involves getting up, getting my water jug. Oh my God, it's so involved. I have to walk around and do things. Get a little reservoir here. Top it up. That's that. Get one of those soda waters. They're quite yummy. I'm going to fill up my water jug again. Oh, I forgot to put the lid on the reservoir. God damn it. I think I want something else to drink. Maybe one of these lightly flavored soda. I'm running out of them. I need to get some more. We've got tonic water, which I'm not a big fan of. Sody, blood orange, and sage. Blood orange and sage. Look at the blood orange and sage. Might make me have to get up and pee during the night, but I just want to hydrate before bedtime. Big fan of local. Cappy's an Australian product, and they make some nice beverages and mixes. These sodas are good on their own. They're also good mixes. No sweetener at all, neither sugar nor artificial. It's nice. Just as blood orange and sage, just really lightly flavored. And yes, Alpha with no noise complaints. I don't think they were that noisy. I mean, there was a bit of carrying on, but nothing to cause noise. So, Technology has a song Little Boxes. God, didn't we have that conversation on one live stream where I was sure that was a Beatles song and it isn't? That was like a Mandela effect for me. I was absolutely sure that was a Beatles song and it's not. That's okay. Man, I love those cherries. I also want to lobby to change that reference from the Mandela effect to the Berenstain effect, because when I found out what it literally was, someone who thought Nelson Mandela had died in prison, rather than being released from prison and becoming president of South Africa. I'm sorry, that's not, the world's weird and something I thought was real is not real. It's like, you're a fucking moron who pays no attention to world events. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Whereas the thing, the Berenstain Bears, I think I fell into this one. So many people, because people are used to names that end with Stein being Stein, and everyone thought it was the Berenstain Bears, but it was the Berenstain Bears. Stain. And some people get fucking tripped out when you point out to them it is and always has been the Berenstain Bears, not the Berenstein Bears. And so, yes, when I found out the Mandela effect was named because someone thought Mandela was dead, I thought, you're a fucking moron. That's just embarrassing. Yeah, okay, Pesley, that's also just dumb people thinking Moby Dick was written by Charles Dickens when it was written by Herman Melville. That's also just dumb people. Safa, I bet cherries are expensive because of inflation. Are we coming into cherry season? I'm not sure. I don't usually eat fresh cherries, but for some reason I thought I saw them in the supermarket. But I recently bought 2 jars because I was running out of them and I was freaked out. I'm going to run out of my favorite cherries. I'm a bougie white person. I want to keep my cherries. So I bought some through a website. It was kind of like there's a website that sells alcohol and they have like exotic alcohols, hard to get ones, and sometimes super good specials. And they advertised something and I thought, that's a really good special. And I've been meaning to get the cherries. Do they sell the cherries? I was like, yep, they sell the cherries at a good price. So it's like, fuck it, that's my excuse. It was actually it was this. This is what I got. It was like $30 off the normal price of this. So like a quarter off the normal price of this. So I was like, yep. So I'm getting my favorite sipping rum and 2 jars of the cherries. Gift Slayer hates Jimmy Page. Fair. Okay. I'm not going to argue with you on that. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, Safra, I guessed you were talking about the Luxardo cherries. These were the... Dan Murphy's didn't have any. No one had them. Went through this phase of no one had them. When I found them on a website, it was the normal... The normally price is somewhere close to $20. I know now you can tell what a bougie white person is. I'm paying $20 for it, but it lasts me for months. And it's just a little indulgence that makes me happy. So does that make me a bad person? Probably. I just accept the fact. Pesse, that's actually a song by Mindless Self-Indulgence. Neat. We're just talking about my mindless self-indulgence with the Luxardo cherries. Neat, Safa. Dude, that's probably a really good idea. Dr. Abigail's noise cancelling headphones are excellent. I've tried them. I should probably get some. That's a great reminder. Thanks, dude. Oh, what's that thing? The Prime Day coming up? Maybe I'll get noise cancelling headphones on Prime Day. You got your Patient Wolf dry gin? Okay. Well, that's good to know from the point of view of birthday presents. You don't need that. Penciling it in. I know what to do. Sorry. That's another thing. Like, I hate Jimmy Page. It's a song by Mindless Self-Indulgent. Also, genuinely hate Jimmy Page. Boomer icons. I'm completely on board with hating boomer icons, basically. Fucking overrated shit. People are stairway to heaven. No, it's not. It fucking sucks. Fucking hate prog rock. Oh my god, the number of times I had people who were about my age or younger, and they're going like, "Oh, this is my music," and I'm doing that, and then they shit on someone, and it's like, "Oh, I hate that." It's like, "Oh god, motherfucker, you're into prog rock. You don't get to pass judgment on someone." And I had this one guy who just decided he was going to shit on Paul Kelly, specifically on the How to Make Gravy song, which comes up every year on the 21st of December, because that's the first line of the song. 21st of December is Gravy Day in Australia. This one guy was just shitting on Paul Kelly generally and How to Make Gravy specifically. And he fancied himself as a songwriter. And I didn't say anything, but my barely concealed rage was, motherfucker, in your wildest dreams, you can't write a song at a tenth as good as anything Paul Kelly's done. But again, with the asterisk, one is free to like and dislike whatever creative expressions one likes or dislikes. It's personal taste, no, but it's just the whole thing of like this guy thought he was a songwriter and he felt like shitting on Paul Kelly and was going, dude, on your best day, you're not within QE of Paul Kelly on his worst day. And literally, Paul Kelly's some of the stuff he's released is pretty ordinary. Oh, see. Okay. Get Pestlayer. The baby groupie thing from the 70s, that so many people in 70s rock, including David Bowie, were guilty of getting involved in that shit. Sort of thing. And you're saying Rush are Ayn Rand fanboys. Yeah, they're also rich. Okay, so Dr. Abigail likes prog rock and prog punk rock. I'm not very familiar with prog punk rock. So we're saying Heine kidnapped her. Oh no, there's some terrible gross stuff where the whole thing of the baby groupie scene, these extremely underage girls were pushed on rock stars and celebrities by their fucking mothers in 70s. It's gross and creepy and fuck. It encompasses so many of the big 70s bands, the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin, and David Bowie was in it for a while. At least David Bowie didn't make a habit of it, but yeah. Dr. Abigail going to kidnap someone and it's their kink. A whole different sort of Stockholm syndrome there. You call that a knot? Tie it tighter. Sorry. Getting into dodgy territory. Safa, I'm not aware of McCartney getting into dodgy shit, but who fucking knows? John Lennon was definitely fucking dodgy. Was a wife beater. John Lennon was an awful person, which is weird because he's probably my favorite Beatle. Awful person. Oh yeah, no, Heine, the whole baby group. You probably find the stories by looking up baby groupies online. It's fucked. Yeah, it was not so again, but the rock stars and other celebrities who got involved with these extremely underage girls knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing was very, very, very wrong, inexcusable. Kept doing it. But yes, no, in a lot of cases, these girls were essentially trafficked by their family. Fucked. Absolutely fucked. That's why this focus on stranger danger can be very weird, because it is an unfortunate reality that more people are put at risk and subjected to terrible things by their families and or people they know than they are strangers. Oh God, Suffolk, kind of what happened with Prince. No, that's just the elites getting together and being fucking depraved monsters. See, that's something I would look into, Pest Slayer. I've not really heard that, but I could also kind of understand it. Stockholm syndrome. I've not heard of Lima syndrome, actually. Term to discredit female victims of violence. Yeah. All right. We've got enough time. 20 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go to bed in 20 minutes. I'm going to look it up. We'll go as fraught as this is. Okay, it describes what happened to victims of a 1973 bank robbery in Stockholm, Sweden. So the first result here on Bing is verywellmind.com. Let's go with Wikipedia for all its faults. It's where hostages develop a psychological bond with their captors results from a rather specific set of circumstances, namely the power imbalances. So it's difficult to find a large number of people who experience Stockholm Syndrome. 4 key components: hostage's development of positive feelings towards the captor, no previous relationship between hostage and captor, refusal by hostages to cooperate with police, hostage's belief in the humanity of the captor. So, the Stockholm bank robbery. Convict on parole took 4 employees, 3 women and a man hostage. He negotiated the release from prison of his friend. Held the hostage captive for 6 days. When they were released, none of them would testify against their captor and began raising money for their defense. Wowzers. It was the hostages' fault, Olson said. They did everything I told them. If they hadn't, I might not be here now. Why didn't they attack me? They made it hard to kill. Oh, wow. So, here's a famous one. Patty Hearst, granddaughter of publisher William Randolph Hearst, was taken and held hostage by the Symbionese Liberation Army, an urban guerrilla group, in 1974. She was recorded denouncing her family as well as the police under her new name Tanya, later seen working with the SLA to rob banks. She publicly asserted her sympathetic feelings towards the SLA and their pursuits. She was arrested in 1975, pled Stockholm Syndrome, didn't work as a proper defense in course, much to the chagrin of her defense lawyer. She got a 7-year prison sentence, later commuted. She was eventually pardoned by Bill Clinton, who was informed she was not acting under her own free will. Wowzers. Well, that's a little roundup there. So, Presley, Lima syndrome, kidnappers, yeah, okay, so it's the same thing, yeah. People, we're complex and flawed. I'm going to get me some more of these sodas. I've got a couple still in the fridge, but not that many, and I don't want to run out because they're very yummy. Again, I think Dan Murphy's has them. I'm going to go raid a Dan Murphy's and get some non-alcoholic. Going to Dan Murphy's because they have cool non-alcoholic mixes that other people don't have. That's weird when you're going to a fucking bottle shop to get non-alcoholic things that no one else has. But I'm going to do it. Yeah, so that's all good. Well, that was a fun exploration. Thanks, Pestslayer, for getting me to look that up. So, oh my God. I did, oh my God, a lot of gas. I did basically know what Stockholm Syndrome was. But also, you're saying Lima Syndrome's the inverse. That's where the kidnappers start to empathize with their captors. That's interesting. I've not heard that. So now I'm going to look that up. What's the origins of that? All right. Lima syndrome. Where did that come from? Inversion of Stockholm syndrome. It's been proposed, named after the abduction after an abduction at the Japanese embassy in Lima, Peru, 1996. Members of a militant movement took hostages. They took hundreds of hostages, and so there you go. There's not much detail on that, though, but interesting, nevertheless. Safi, yeah, Dan Murphy's my cool uncle who gives me cool shit. Except he doesn't give it to me. I have to buy it. I fucking ragged on them on Twitter the other day because I got this email like, great members offer. And I shit you not, the whole email was, and it was about vodka of all things, but it was 5 cents off, not $5. And I think $5 is a shit special. It was 5 cents. It was like Normal price, $49. For members, $48.95. And I was just like, fuck's sake. And also, and it just sort of tipped me over the edge because their website fails to function on some very basic levels, like the filters on searches don't fucking work. And so I was like, no, this has pushed me over the edge. So I did a screenshot of this email on Twitter and went, yo, Dan Murphy's, this is not a special that warrants an email. Also, your website doesn't work. And of course, the poor bastard who runs their social media, thanks for reaching out. We're sorry it wasn't a great experience. We'll try to make it better. It's like, no, you fucking won't. Because your website is failing on really basic things. Like you go, they have these filters. You go, I'm going to search on stuff. I'm going to search spirits, just the stuff that's on special offers. And 75% of the stuff that shows up is not on special. And then they have these filters go, oh, you can filter this so you see it most expensive to cheapest. And I chose that because I'm not going to buy the most expensive, because Dan Murphy's does sell some stuff that costs fucking thousands of dollars, and I'm not getting that. But I'm also not going to buy the cheapest stuff, which is like pre-mixed cans. And so the stuff I want is going to be kind of in the middle. But it doesn't fucking sort the stuff from most expensive to least expensive. It's all over the shop. So really basic filtering stuff doesn't work. Yeah. Yes, Dr. Abigail. Don't push me, because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Like in the jungle sometimes. Makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Right. That was tasty. And again, I think that's also a palate change over years. Because I think a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have liked this because I only liked really sweet drinks. But I really like these just very lightly flavored sodas that you can get. Yummy. And I just felt the need to hydrate before Betty buys. As I said, may or may not make me have to get up in the middle of the night to go wee-wees because of the volume of liquid I have drunk. No, Safa. Dan's did not give me a $5 voucher. Something I would also regard as kind of shitty. But so yeah, I am. Yeah. I'd been meaning for ages to go like, motherfucker, why doesn't your website fucking work? For fuck's sake. And you keep putting this stuff like, that's a member, and it's like, you're insulting people by saying something's $1 off. That's not a fucking offer, for fuck's sake. But yeah, it just pushed me over the edge where there was this email, and the only thing in the email was 5 cents off. Like, that's it. You've pushed me over the edge. Safa, good question. I refuse to be the membership of almost anything. Like, people keep wanting you to get a loyalty card and whatever. And I almost always refuse them because it's like, no, fuck off. I do not want to give you another option for data mining. And also with Dan Murphy's, I have to admit, I avoided getting a Dan Murphy's member card for ages because it's like, well, that's when you know you're a fucking alcoholic, when it made sense to get a Dan Murphy's card. But then one day they advertised something that I really wanted on a really good special for members, and I went, swallow your pride, son, get a card. I always thought, yeah, again, fortunately, because I haven't been dating for fucking 16 years. But I always kind of thought, if I was dating and somebody you're out with someone and you get open your wallet and there's a Dan Murphy's card there, I feel like a lot of people would see that as a red flag. It's like, okay, this motherfucker drinks so much booze. He's got Dan Murphy's frequent buyer card. That's not good. Cow hugging vegan saying working for Bunnings, you conclude big companies promise the world and overpromise, underdeliver. Whereas you should do the other. You should do the opposite. That's what I do in my work. Make a point of under promising and then over delivering when I can. Like if I've got a body work and someone's like, how long is that going to do? I look at it and go, oh God, I've got to do that. I've got to do that. I've got to do that. And it's like, shit, that is a lot of work. That's going to take me 4 weeks. And so I'll say that's going to take 6 to 8 weeks. Like, okay, 6 to 8 weeks. And then if I get it done in less than that, it's like, well, aren't you good? You do it in less. But yes, because, and it's not a purely cynical thing. The under promise over deliver thing is just because, particularly at the start of someone, when someone asks you to commit to something, when can you do this or how you do this, you go, oh, probably like this, but there's always a huge number of variables, stuff that you can't necessarily predict ahead of time could happen. So it's like, okay, if nothing goes wrong, I'll do this in 4 weeks. Invariably, shit goes wrong. And it's like, oh, it took longer than that. Oh, okay. That's why I don't say 4 weeks, because 4 weeks is the best case scenario. And if you tell someone 4 weeks, all they hear is, he said 4 weeks. And so when it takes 5, 6 weeks or longer, they're like, oh, fuck you said 4 weeks. I went, oh, yeah, that was if nothing went wrong, but shit went wrong. So I kind of look at it and go, 4 weeks if nothing goes wrong. So I'll say 6 to 8 works. Oh, is that in line with Mr. Scott's engineering school for the up-and-coming miracle worker? Yeah. It does you no good if you are pressed by management or customers, if you're dealing with customers. It does you no good to tell them the figure that you think you can realistically do. Because, yes, the overwhelming majority of times you will deliver on that because you go, I know my work and I could deliver this. But on the occasions when you can't, which will probably be at least 1 in 4 occasions, they'll just be all up in your face. Well, you said that and not that. Because fucking shit happened, man. So build some buffer in there, and then you can deliver under what you promise. And you're the miracle worker at that point. So it's good advice, basically. And yes, cow hugging vegan. Bunnings aren't the only one. Lots of places cut staff hours and then expect the people who are still there to do more with less. And it's just like, that's super fucked. Why are you subjecting me to that? It's not good. It's all kinds of not good. So we'll take that as it comes, basically. So it's that's the world we live in. It's a song. That is how the world works. That is how the world works. What the fuck? So I'm just wondering, why does it do this? Lately, my Chrome has opened the same thing on 2 tabs when I open it, and I don't know why. It's very strange. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. Must be bedtime. Wow. Sorry, I just decided to look at some news headlines before going to bed. This is a fun one. Dashcam captures moments before former bikie was gunned down in Melbourne. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh. State Premier Andrews got a pay rise. Highest paid state leader. Oh, wow. Queensland mayor crashed into a tree, drunk driving. Fuck yeah. Okay. Independent expert and heads inquiry into Barilari New York trade drive. Fucking graft and corruption, motherfuckers. Oh, weird stuff. Oh, here's another fun one. The crypto price crash. Yep. Crypto's been pretty goddamn funny this year, losing 75% of its value on average. So what are the Guardian saying about Dutton? That seems too complex. I don't want to, again, dredge and be reading an article in here. No, it doesn't actually seem like. No. All right, I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that because it's almost bedtime. I'm probably gonna yawn once or twice more. So what am I watching tomorrow? Probably Stranger Things, maybe some Star Trek. Who knows? So far, look, I'm not at 0.00. I'm not even half Tim Smith at the moment. I basically had 2 drinks in 2 hours. Oh, in terms of standard drinks, over 2 hours, I maybe had 4 standard drinks, which oh no, in seriousness, okay, I've got to be responsible. If I breathalyzed at the moment, I would probably be over the legal limit, which still makes me less than half Tim Smithed. I can feel a buzz. I would not drive a car. It'd be dangerous. I'm going to bed. It's like I'm acting like morally upstanding. I wouldn't drive. I don't want to drive. I'm going to bed. And Greg, hi, by the way. Yes, late good evening, just before bedtime. Yeah, I guess I'll bid you fine people farewell. I will, in all probability, be on a stream on Tuesday night to, shoot the breeze, chat, see what's what. But maybe looking forward to might have a little special party stream for Dr. Abigail on Saturday night. So we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, I'm going to go sleepy bobos. Hope you take care. I hope to see you again soon. And Tuesday, if we're all around, we'll see what happens. But I'll just say bye for now.